How you going, folks? Paul Bars signing in here for another video update. Hello and welcome. This past week I had a question put forward to me which I thought certainly warranted a little further explanation. What I was asked recently was, what kind of skills do you need in order to be successful in internet marketing and marketing online? Of course, let me just clarify that. We're talking about the skills that you as a person need to develop or bring to your business. And yes, it is a business if you're looking to make money out of it. And marketing online, I'm not talking about just internet marketing stuff. I'm talking about marketing online for any business, any product, any service, but using the tools of the internet to do it. I figured the best way for me to perhaps explain this would be maybe share with you some of the skills which I have either brought to or developed over the last 10 years in my online business. Now, in saying this, I want to also point out that the way in which I do business is just one business model. There are literally dozens and dozens, probably even 100 or more different business models that you can follow online. They do, however, have one common theme, and that's the most important thing. Here's the rule, how to be successful in business. 101, this applies to any business, any product, any service, any person, any place in the world, no matter where you are. Here's the key secret. Remember this one. You need to spend less money than you make. Simple, isn't it? It makes absolute sense. But in order to do that, you need some skills along the way. Number one, you need to be able to make money. Number two, well, here's a skill in itself. You need to be able to manage your money. And this is something that as a small business person, a small business operator, I've had to learn how to do, how to manage my money. It took 4 years online before I knew how to manage my money in terms of ingoing and outgoing. It's not as simple as just, well, I need that. You can't just go and buy it if you think you need that product or service. Sometimes you actually do have to budget, and that's a crucial skill. It's got nothing to do with marketing at all. But the truth is this, there are, as I've been reading on some of the forums this week, there are so many, hundreds, thousands of people who come online, who come into this internet marketing thing and think, yes, I can make money. Woohoo, I can do this, no problem whatsoever. But they've got no clue. They spend money, and they don't make enough back to cover their costs. I remember having that conversation with an old client of mine from many years ago. I bumped into him recently. We sat down for coffee. I said, well, what are you doing? He said, this and this and this and this. I said, look, just out of curiosity, how much has all that cost you? Bang, knocked me over dead. It was nearly $35,000. On top of that, he was paying out monthly fees of around, I think it was around $300 to $400 a month just to stay access to various membership fees. Wacko, you've got to be crazy. How much money have you made? Not even a tenth of all of that. So, skill number one, let me just throw that in. That wasn't part of my plan. I'm just going off the cuff. You must learn how to manage your money and manage a budget. Because if you spend more money than you're making, you will fail in business. Guaranteed, no ifs, no buts. That's the way it is. Donald Trump would back me up on that one. And I tell you, you spend more money than you're making, you're fired. That's just the way it goes. Okay, but online business. What other skills do we need along the way? Well, I've developed the skills to be able to, I won't say build my own websites, but modify websites. Now, obviously, if you're not going to be following the model plan, the business plan that I do, where I have my websites, where I also do upgrade work for other people's websites, then, well, you don't need this skill. But I think it's really important if you want long-term success online, to have your own website, to promote yourself, to promote your products. Now, yes, you can outsource this work. You can have other people do it. Do you have the money to do that? If you don't, then you need to learn and develop the skills to do it yourself. Now, you don't have to start from scratch. I've never started a website from scratch. I've always purchased a template or found even a free template when I was getting started and modified it. And I learned how to modify it in the HTML. This is not talking about WordPress or those types of things, just the raw templates for actual website designing, good old-fashioned HTML. It's a good skill, because even your underlying codes that are used with PHP and so on within other templates, such as WordPress, while they're not HTML, they still follow the same guidelines, the same principles. And now this is really layman speak here. I am not a tech guy. I hate the tech stuff, but I've learned to do enough when I'm looking for something, as I was the other day. Classic example. I had a little box of text on my website for my affiliates. I wanted people to be able to click a button and have it highlight the whole lot so they could just copy it to their clipboard. You've seen this on websites before? I've never done that. I didn't know how to do that. So what did I do? Searched online, JavaScript copy text. That's what I wanted. I figured that's what it was called. Took me less than 5 minutes. I found the code, I copied it, I pasted it into my website. Bango. There's what I wanted. See, I know, and I've learned how to modify stuff. I've learned how to copy and paste. I think you should be learning the same skills as well. Now, what about things like, well, let's just quickly cover WordPress before I move on. Yes, it's much, much easier. Yes, you don't need to know HTML, but it's a good thing to have a basic understanding of how to read and understand. You don't have to be able to write. I've never written HTML code, but it's a valuable, valuable skill. On the web pages, what about graphics? Do we need to do something with graphics? Yes, we need to do something with graphics. Do we need to do it ourselves? Well, if we have no money, yes, we do need to do it ourselves. Remember, spend less than what you make. That's the key, the underlying principle that goes all the way through here. So, if you cannot create the U-Butte graphics yourself, perhaps you can learn how to modify U-Butte graphics that are license-free. Now, Photoshop is a corker of a program. I don't know how to use 95% of what Photoshop can do, but I have found many, many resources online where I can download the PSD files for Photoshop and modify them. Took me only a few weeks to learn how to do that. And now with practice, I'm getting better and better and better. Say if I want my text to look a particular way, I don't know how to create that from scratch, but I can find text in a PSD, which is the format that Photoshop will use for the various layers. Don't know what I'm talking about. Don't worry, you will one day. But I can get that, put it in, and modify it to then make it my own. These are some of the skills that you need. What about sales copy? Do you need to know how to write sales copy? No, you don't need to know how to write sales copy. But tell me, do you have $10,000, $15,000 set aside for a professional, really fantastic sales copywriter? Do you know you're going to make the money back? Not without your testing, you won't. So therefore, perhaps you should learn how to, modify sales copy. Learn from the masters. Learn from the gurus. Learn from those who've just exceed in that particular area and begin to develop your own style. Okay? What about some of the technical stuff? How to plug in autoresponders, how to work with companies like Aweber, how to manage your own follow-up email. Do you need to know how to do this? Well, unless you've got gazillions of dollars set aside, and it doesn't matter if you lose that money. Yes, you do need to know how to do this. It's a sales copywriting skill. The 7-part follow-up formula. What about your newsletters? These are things that you've had to learn how to do. What about the technical side of online audio, online video? Do you know how to put your own YouTube videos up? Do you know how to create your own YouTube channel? Do you know how to make this feed directly into Facebook? Do you know how to make this feed directly through Twitter and publish it straight away? What about the other video feeds that are out there? Will it publish on your blog straight away? These are the things that you need to know. Now, you don't necessarily have to know how to do them, but you need to know, I believe, how to understand how they work and apply them into your business. Of course, if you haven't got someone else doing it for you, if you don't have the money because you're trying not to spend more than you make, good idea, then yes, you will need to know how to do these things. What about registering a domain name? What about the DNS server setup? What about the delegation through to your website host? What about getting a host? Do you know how to do these things? Probably not. Sign up for a forum, become a good participant in a forum. How to create your own products. How about affiliate marketing? Do you know how to do that? Do you know the various aspects of affiliate marketing? These are the things that I've had to learn along the way. Search engine development within your page, within your cost per advertising, cost per click. Look at the various networks that are out there. These are some of the things. Now, right now, I've just gone off the top of my head, and you're probably going, if you're a newbie, you're ready to knock yourself. It's not that hard. What you need to do from here is simply set up a plan and set up a guideline and follow it, or follow someone else's guideline. Look, I might talk more on this later, but this is just a snapshot. There is a lot more to it than you think, but you can learn it, because if somebody else can learn how to do a thing, so can you. This is Paul Bars from paulbars.com, the online business success center, signing off. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.